So, hi everyone. My name is Andrea Balog. I'm part of the Women in AI team, and this is our last session about AI and marketing. You actually have access to the previous session on our YouTube channel, so feel free to check them out. And today we will have Karin talking about the ethical implications of AI and marketing. So I'll let Karin introduce herself and we'll kick off. So floor is yours.
Thank you, Andrea, and welcome everybody to today's presentation on the ethical implication of AI in marketing. And my name is Karin Cheong, and I am originally from Macau, and I have been living in Ireland for over 16 years. And I'm currently working as a quality analyst in TikTok and have been in the social media platform industry for over 7 years. And just to speak a little bit about myself, and my initial academic journey was to complete a bachelor degree in business and management in 2015. Luckily, very soon after graduating, I had the chance to contract with Facebook and spend several early of my career stage within the operation and site integrity space of the platform. In my day-to-day basis, that included quite a lot of data analysis and reporting, which I started to go ahead and learn about data science, like in my own time, as well as AI, and started to go to quite a lot of meetup related events that were happening in the city at the time. And I really got inspired and decided to go further. So in 2019, I decided to look back to academic while I was working as a full-timer and completed a higher diploma in data science, as well as a foundation certificate of AI in early 2021. And from there, I continued to develop and utilize my knowledge. So I started to work in community group projects as well as data-thon in the space, and some of it were actually offered by Women in AI, not only in Ireland, but overseas branches as well. And later on, I acknowledged the passion for computer vision and NLP, which is why I continue my academic journey. And I recently completed a master's degree in computer science that majored in AI. And as to speak about the aspiration about AI in our future, I personally believe that it holds tremendous potential to shape our future in various ways. And as human, we are creative and we do have the ability to control how AI can positively to impact our community and network, and as well as our ecosystem. And for the marketing in AI, it involves the use of in the modern digital world, artificial intelligence plays an essential role in marketing. It's revolutionizing the way companies interact with customers and make data-driven decisions nowadays. However, this rapid technological advancement definitely needed some careful examination on the ethical aspect. So, and when we talk about marketing into AI, that the method is to use some sort of sophisticated algorithm and data analysis techniques to optimize some of the marketing strategy. So those are including predicting consumer behavior and enhance user experience. So as we can see on the screen, we have like some of the methods that are commonly used in the AI in marketing. So that would be including AI optimization, content inspiration, A/B testing, sentiment analysis, campaign translation, and intelligent chatbots. And as for the last one, it was talk about the intelligent chatbot, right? And if you're interested to know more about this topic, we actually do have a dedicated recorded session that is already uploaded on our LinkedIn page, and it was presented by Rebecca Power on the 11th of October, which you can go ahead and watch that later on and after this session in your own time. So before we dive into the specific, let's establish some of the ethical fundamentals of marketing in the space. So ethical considerations are essential as they guide responsible AI use, ensure customer trust, and help organizations to comply with laws and regulation. In the context of AI in marketing, this is especially crucial given the vast amount of personal data that infolded into the marketing campaign, right? And there are several key aspects that we should always look into, which are privacy, fairness, transparency, and accountability, and the responsible of AI technology. So for today's presentation, I would like to focus on three different important components into our topic of AI marketing, so which are including data privacy, bias, and transparency. So for our very first ethical consideration, it is data privacy. Data is the lifeblood of AI in marketing. It helps companies target the right audience, personalize the content, and make data-driven decisions. However, the collection, storage, and utilization of personal data must be done with extreme care. Violation can result in significant consequences, such as data breaches and legal liabilities. So it is important to ensure the data privacy for our users or audience. And all the organizations should follow the best practice, such as obtaining explicit consent from customer before collecting the data, which is crucial. So how to do it? First, one of the methods is to put data in a normalizing format, so which is to remove any of the sensitive data. So it could be like address or date of birth, etc. And secondly, ethically respecting data privacy reflects our commitment to individual rights, autonomy, and trust. And in a world where data breach and privacy violation actually happen, company has the obligation to protect the customer or personal data. And it is an ethical obligation and a legal requirement to protect that as well. And next one is to talk about bias in AI, and it is our second ethical consideration. Bias in AI refers to any unfair and unequal treatment of individual or groups due to any systematic errors in the data or algorithm used in the process. And in marketing, bias can lead to unintended consequences impacting customers and the reputation of the business as well. So for addressing bias in AI, that involves acknowledging the problems and to take steps to avoid that. So some of the mitigation techniques, which would be including a diverse and inclusive data creation. Algorithm has to be fairness to all users and put on ongoing monitor and auditing process on the AI system. So from an ethical standpoint, combating the bias in AI marketing is vital to ensure fairness, justice, and equal opportunities for all customers and audiences. For the failure to address bias not only has ethical implications, but can also result in financial and reputation damage. So it is crucially important. And for the last one, it is to speak about the importance of transparency. So transparency in AI marketing, it is important, and it refers to the practice of being open and honest about how all the AI technology are used to influence any decision or recommendation. Lack of transparency can lead to a breakdown of trust between organization and customer, or in any case could be platform audiences. Transparency not only builds trust in this case, but it also allows customers to make informed decisions understand why certain recommendations are made and exercise their right. So nowadays, customers are pretty smart, and they would like to know why and how do you use my data to make informative decision. And it is better to let them know and to avoid any legal troubles on later stage. And as well as adhering to transparency standards and framework, it is also a fundamental ethical obligation for companies to employ AI in their marketing strategy. So by fostering the transparency, organizations can demonstrate accountability and a commitment to ethical marketing practice, which ultimately benefits for both parties. So in conclusion, it is important for business to avoid bad marketing practice and to focus on ethical and responsible marketing. And by doing so, business can build trust with customers and platform users and to protect their reputation and avoid any legal problems. So our journey has been through the ethical implication of AI in marketing, and it also showed the light on the critical importance of addressing three different areas, right? So the first one is data privacy, bias, and transparency. And we have explored the significance of data privacy and safeguarding the individual rights and the importance of responsible data handling. We've also dived into the bias in AI marketing and the steps necessary to mitigate it and ensure fairness and inclusive to all campaigns. Lastly, we've also emphasized the fundamental roles of transparency in building trust and accountability. And thank you, everyone, and sincerely thank you for Women in AI for giving this speaking opportunity for me to speak up in here. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask as well as to reach out. Last but not least, I've been with Women in AI since 2019. So and here they're not only providing webinar talks, but as I also mentioned about the community practice group project, I was also part of these, and I have learned a lot, as well as the mentors. At times they're not only coming from our like community members, but also some external companies. So they would actually coordinate with us, and we actually work on some real life projects. So definitely should look up to our website and get to learn more. And yes, that's really it. And I would like to pass it back to Andrea.
Thanks, Karin. That was really interesting. It's really good to hear that people are caring about the whole ethics when using AI in the different domains. So feel free to have any questions, either write them on the group or just unmute yourself or raise your hands, and we'll take it from there. So any questions? So I see there's no questions yet, but I would actually have a question about, so you were talking about bias in AI in that sense. Like how much does the small businesses benefit, or do they kind of not benefit of the whole AI in the marketing? Because if you think about it, the bigger businesses will have sort of more data online. They will have more kind of availability about who they are, what they do, and so on. So is that a sort of bias in it as well, or not?
In terms of that, I mean, as you just mentioned, bigger company would be like maybe when they send out a survey, they might get more feedback, and another one might get smaller. But it's about shuffling and how do we handle the data set, right? And if we use some layering techniques, in that way we can ensure the distribution is fair between let's say the gender or the age zone. There's not like they're not to ensure there's not gonna be any like peak or any like outlier in the data set. So in that way, we can ensure that our algorithm or our like our decision has made to fit everybody.
And I was wondering if you could give maybe some examples of like success stories of like AI in marketing. Like I don't really know much about the whole marketing field, so I'm kind of curious of like what is it that that actually made a big impact or that actually worked out very well? Would you know?
So like AI in marketing, one of it is like, okay, when you have idea and when you have some, for example, when you're writing content, right? You might have different ideas, but it would be also very good for the AI to choose what's the best one for you. Like because based on your audiences, based on the behavior, etc. So AI can really help you to pick out what's the best as well as save you some time. Because like there are so many ideas out there. Yeah. So one of it is that as well as like onto A/B testing. So let's say if you're working on products that we can use AI to understand. So before the product launching, this is our maybe like I don't know the page viewing rate. So what about if we implement a new feature and like how did that make the difference in there? And so in that way we can smartly to allocate how could we do or like we should plug that feature out. Yeah, as well as another thing onto AI in marketing is let's say if you have a product on Amazon or something, you would like to know what are your customer to think about it. So sentimental analysis is another good way just to we can use AI to process and clean the data set and plug it into the NLP model just to understand if people are actually happy about the product or they're not happy and if there's any space to improve because if we have big chunk of data, let's say 5,000, like 12,000, it's really hard to go through everything. So it really can speed up the process for decisions. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I see we have some questions as well in the chat. I think I kind of missed them earlier. So there's a question about the EU regulations. Is it better for companies to create their own safe spaces or look to these bigger bodies to create the safe nets?
First of all, it's important to apply the EU regulation, the GDPR. So one very important point is like, let's say even the company is not inside Ireland, but if the service or the product is serving to someone that is from the EU or has the EU nationality, it also covers. So in that way, everybody should apply that. And that is the big direction to go for. And I mean, because ethical, this field is still pretty new. I think for the company has to follow the GDPR, but if they think there is something that's best to safeguard the data privacy, bias, as well as transparency in another way, there's no harm to do with so as well. Just like a better layer to building the trust, right? To safeguarding. Yeah, because as we know, this is still an emerging field, and we don't know what will be like in 2 years' time. There could be like regulation, like actual physical local regulation or like laws it will impose, and all the company has to follow. And we can see this is coming as well as like in 2022 or 2023 or earlier this year. I see like Ireland has also appointed the first AI commissioner, which all these things will be more visible. There will be more regulation coming to our way. Yeah. So.
Yeah, thanks. So there's another one from Kristen. Which AI tools or programs do you recommend for marketing specific departments?
Marketing specific, I am not using like proper like AI marketing at the moment. I'm just still using Canva, right? Canva as well as like ChatGPT for idea. But I do have another one. I cannot remember, but that one is really good for presentation. So let's say if you have some idea, you just plug it in and it will automatically give you all the information, and AI made it presentation, and you can fine tune on the specific. Yeah, I'm not sure if that answered your question. I know it's not like fully, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it answered the question. Yeah. So another question is that story about how a teenager was profiled on her supermarket shopping and was sent a special offer on baby nappies, which her dad saw before she was aware she was pregnant. Is that something that could happen again?
Let me see. That is too long. I'm gonna watch that. Okay, the story about a teenager was profiling on her supermarket shopping and was sent a special offer on baby. Okay, and before she was is that something that could happen again? I remember this story, but yeah, I think the algorithm has missed something, and it's not supposed to be like that. Yeah, I am not really sure about this one, and yeah,
Yeah, I suppose also
yeah,
the question is that it's one thing that that it's sort of classified it that way, but it's another thing to actually give you to give you sort of such a kind of strong suggestion, I suppose,
yeah,
because like suggesting to buy nappies is quite a direct suggestion that there is a baby involved, whereas if you just suggest to buy a specific type of crisp, it's just about the preference of taste. It's not as a big life-changing kind of advice. So I suppose that that's with the question whether the AI systems have been regulated to kind of make the difference, whether you're suggesting just a different taste or you're suggesting that a person is pregnant.
yeah. I think so. I think it's also depending on what type of data set they're getting, because like on some algorithm, it's always like a yes or no, or like decision into different branches, right? So if that something that's like, because human, we can read, and there are words that with like different interpretations, so the computer can like misinterpret into another category that could be make sense, as well as like AI and like machine learning. All these things are like, when it's coming to algorithm, it's not 100%, right? It's talking about the 95% confidential score, just like about what they were talking about, the self-driving car, right? So it actually saved more people than causing like that, than like actual human that driving a car that actually caused more road accident than the machine. So we always have to look into the bigger perspective on that. I guess.
So Catherine was saying, I suppose somehow her taste matches a pregnant woman's taste and automatically push that recommendation.
I suppose somehow her taste matches. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I suppose there's like two layers to it, that the AI system made the wrong choice, but also that the AI system didn't realize that that might be a sensitive choice, or that might be a sensitive information to share, that the person is pregnant, whether or not. So I think that's where it becomes a little bit of an ethical question of like, is it okay to suggest to someone that
Yeah.
that they are pregnant?
And there's one thing that suddenly came up to my mind. Do you know application which is called Lensa, which you can go ahead and upload your pictures, and they would go ahead and transform you into different characters, but with your face, right? And it was like went on the news because some of the like pictures that the AI produced was too explicit. And yes, I think that would be definitely a ethical question to look into, and they should definitely give out some like consent for the user to pick whether or not to accept this type of style. Maybe perhaps they have different style, or it could be like, I don't know, like casual or like different like dinner vibe, elegant vibe, or other vibe to pick from, rather than just like go ahead and produce that outcome. I would think if I am as a user, I would think it's better to put on some regulation on that point, just to
Yeah, no,
everybody.
absolutely. That's definitely a good point. Any other questions? And feel free to unmute yourself, or if you have any comments or anything, any personal experiences to share, that are welcome as well. I think these sort of stories kind of do impact us all, and we do kind of see it in everyday life of how they can make suggestions that are questionable and that are maybe seem a bit irrational or unethical to point out. So yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd have actually another question, just like there's GDPR put in place to kind of protect people's privacy and data and all that, but is there anything else that that companies have to obey as regulation, or is there a drive from the company's side to actually regulate even without having kind of law enforced regulation? Would you know?
I can't answer on this one because that is too specific, and I don't work on like that aspect, so I don't want to give any like wrong information. But
I suppose.
But I guess like GDPR is definitely the pioneer direction that everybody is trying to follow right now.
Yeah. Okay, if there's no other questions, then I think there's the link for the shopping habit
The shopping
news
habit.
article. Yeah, thanks a lot for sharing that. Yeah, that is definitely an interesting story that came out. Yeah,
definitely.
So thanks again, Karin, for the presentation and the very interesting talk. And thanks everyone for joining. And as we said before, you can listen to all the previous recordings as well on our YouTube channel, and follow us on LinkedIn for our next events. And hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.